Welcome to the Adizes methodology.
Is on how to define an organizational mission. This is also very much a fad now, and everybody talks about you have to define your mission. In the past, it used to be called define your goals, management by results, define your deliverables. What mission? And why do you define your mission? Why is it so important to have, for an organization, a mission or a mission statement? And how do you go about stating it? Many companies have a mission statements because that's what is today a fad and everybody talks about it. And let me tell you what is a typical mistake in the mission statements that I see in many companies. They apply to any other organization. If I can see a mission and I take it and I say, does it apply to the company across the street or any other company? And if yes, then I'm claiming it's not a good mission. Example will be, our mission is to satisfy our clients, to give a reasonable return on investment to our investors, and to be responsible to our society. Bravo. It will be equivalent to somebody saying my mission is to be happy. Well, everybody's mission in life is to be happy. What is particular to you? It has to be particular to you, not something which is generic and true for everybody. If it applies to everybody, it's wonderful to take into account, but we want to know what is your mission, what's your purpose in life, why do you exist, who will cry if you die. Making a particular mission for a particular organization, custom-made, and thus it has to change over time because there is a change. There's the changes in technology, changing in the markets, and our mission has to change. Our mission has to change. To satisfy our customers and have a good return on investment, this is, you know what it is? This is a value statement. That's a value statement. That's how we want to operate. We want to operate by satisfying our clients, giving a good return to our investors, and being responsible members of our community in which we live. Wonderful. It's a value statement. Mission is, what are you going to do? I look at mission like in the television series Mission Impossible. They tell you, this and this is happening, your role is such and such, these are the conditions under which you're supposed to carry out your mission, go and do it. That's a mission. A military has a mission to conquer a certain mountain, to win a certain war under certain conditions. What's our mission as a company? How do we go about stating it? Many years ago, when I was teaching at UCLA as a professor, students will come to me and say, Dr. Adizes, would you please help us and advise us what we should do, you know, with our career, with our life? And I found out a very interesting correlation. People who did not know who they are did not know where they want to go. People who knew who they were knew very well where they wanted to go. It will be like dropping you in the middle of the night somewhere and telling you, go back home. How would you know where to go? First, you have to find out, where are you? Same thing here. In order to know what you want to be, what you want to do, you first have to find out, who are you? What kind of a company do we have here? You have to go back to the essence. What is this company all about? Then you define your mission. How do we find out what are we all about? What is this company all about? Here's how you find out. First, you start with asking the question, what are the needs that we satisfy? Now, please realize, we want to satisfy, we should satisfy, or we do satisfy. Okay? There's a big disparity here. And that subject about want, should, and is covered in another segment. But so far, I hope you are following me. What needs do we satisfy? Do we satisfy? What needs should we satisfy? What needs do we want to satisfy? In order not to get confused, start with the needs you do satisfy. Focus on the needs you satisfy. And in order to do that, you have to start with who are our clients? What are their needs? And those are the needs we do satisfy. Wonderful. Okay, here we have the needs we satisfy. And you have to do maybe market segmentation. There are different clients, different needs. Wonderful discussion in itself. Who are the clients? What are the needs? How different are the needs? And do we satisfy those needs? Let's go to the next subject. What capabilities, what know-how does a company have? Again, does it have? Not should have, not we want to have. Does it have? What capabilities does the company have? What knowledge do we have? We know how to do what? What is a core capability we have? What is a basic knowledge on which we stand, on which we capitalize in satisfying our clients? And please realize that will be another line here. That creates, this is capabilities. That creates 4 different areas. Do you see that? Area number 1, area number 2, area number 3, and area outside, which is area number 4. Now please tell me, what is happening in area number 1? These are the needs that we satisfy, and we have the capability to satisfy. Do you see that? We have the capability to satisfy those needs. This is our core business. We are pretty good in satisfying those needs because we have the capabilities to do so. What's happening in area number 2? There are certain needs that the clients have which we are not satisfying very well. We don't have the capability. We are not doing a good job there. Now the question should be, should we do that? Do we want to do that? That's area number 2. Do we want to extend our capabilities to satisfy other needs of our clients that they have, which we are not satisfying satisfactorily? What's happening in area number 3? Guess what? We have capabilities that we have not identified the needs to which we can apply them as yet. We can be doing some other things as well here. We can apply these capabilities to other needs and develop some needs. Here we have to develop capability. Here we have to develop needs. What's happening in area number 4? We neither satisfy the needs, we don't know the needs, nor do we have the capabilities. It's out of our range. Who are we? We are from here to here. We are the needs we satisfy, the needs we should satisfy, and the needs we could satisfy. Always we are whom do we serve. The focus is on the clients. So we are what we do, we should, and we could do. Now the question is, do we want to do it? That's a different discussion. So one way to find a mission, by the way, is to ask the company, look at all your sources of revenue, whether it's products or services, and put them in this area 1 through 4. A go-go company, a young company, aggressive, running all over the place, is going to have a lot of revenue which is really unrelated to their core business in area number 4. They expanded. It's like a bush went sideways too much. You have to cut some of the branches to refocus the energy. They might have some here, some here. In an aristocratic aging company, guess what's happening? Most of it is here. There is hardly anything here and here, or forget it, here for sure not, unless they're buying and acquiring some companies unrelated to their business. And what is the danger? Because as you focus only here, what is the competition going to come? The competition is not going to attack you here. The competition is going to attack you in area number 2, satisfying needs you're not satisfying, or satisfying other needs you're not capitalizing on your capabilities, and then they're going to attack you number 1. So what you need to do is you have to decide what business do you want to be in. And you have to say, this is our bread and butter. Nice. What do we want to develop those needs? Do we want to develop those capabilities? How much will it cost? That's part of who we are. Or do we want to develop products now, capitalizing on our capabilities to identify new markets and develop those new markets in order to capitalize on our capabilities and satisfy additional new needs? All of this is our radar screen, and we have to watch it. That's who we are. We are what we do, we could do, and we should do. Is that good enough for a mission? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Why is it not true? Because I already say to identify a mission, you have to start with by asking who are we. But that's not good enough. Now that we know who are we, what our capabilities are, what are the needs that we satisfy, we could or we should satisfy, now what? Now we have to open our eyes and say, where do we go from here? And what do you need to do? That first item, capabilities versus needs, this area is called the market product scope. This is the market, this is the product scope. So first you have to identify your market product scope. Let's just say you did that. Now what do you do next? Now you have to ask yourself, how is the world changing? How is the environment changing? Changing environment. And there are 6 components to that changing environment. Not all of the components apply to you. It depends on the industry, it depends on the country, it depends on the culture. So please select those items that most apply to you, but you should look at all of them because our world is becoming more and more intensive, overlapping. Politics impact economics, economics impact politics, politics and economics impact social strata and behavior, social impacts the legal side impacts the economic side. So this is not just pick up one at a time. You should look at all the 6 and realize how they're interrelating. And what are the 6? What are the technological changes? What are the physical changes? Air, water, land. What are the legal changes? What are the socio-cultural changes? What are the economic changes? The last one is the political. All of them interwoven. But you have to look at the future and say, look at the future, look at the future. This is who we are. Okay, that's where we are coming from. By the way, who we are, present tense in some languages don't exist. Because there is no present tense. Present is a split second between the past and the future. Either it's a continuation of your past or the beginning of your future. So this is the continuation of your past. Here is who we are, from where we are coming. Now let's look at what's happening out there. What is happening technologically? What's changing technology? What do you project is going to happen? What is happening physically? What's happening legally? What's happening socio-culturally? What's happening economically, politically? And again, I repeat, it depends on the industry. If you're in the fashion industry, you probably want to look at socio-cultural more in detail. Okay? If you're in a regulated environment, you want to look at the legal environment more. But all of them are necessary in order to you to screen the total environment. And what do you do when you look at the total, all these environmental changes? You're looking for oppor threats. This is a literally translation of the Chinese word. The Chinese do not differentiate between problems and opportunities. They say it's one and the same. They have one word for both opportunities and threats. So I translated the Chinese word literally into English, and I call it oppor threats. There are opportunities and threats in this changing environment that are impacting the needs we satisfy, should satisfy, could satisfy, and the capabilities we have or we should have. And now you are saying is, what is changing there that requires from us to change? What is changing out there that requires us to change? What are the opportunities or the threats? It's an opportunity if we handle it right, and it's a threat if we mishandle it. What are those oppor threats? One item more before you go into a mission. There are certain values we have, belief systems we have. We believe in certain things. Like some company says, we do not sell on credit. I know, it's a value statement. You know, we do not expend more than 35% a year. It's too difficult for us. I have a client that says we're not going to be in the military industry. That's a value statement. What are your values? And again, you're going to the same thing. The values you have, you should have, you want to have. Now, do I have it? I should have it. I want to have it. Keep it. I have it. I should not have it. I don't want to have it. Drop it. Change it. I should have it. I want to have it, but I don't have it. Develop it. So we have to look at the values which are also upper threats. Because many times what I find out in companies is the environment is changing, they need to change, the value system don't let them change. We don't do this kind of things. We don't get involved in this. Or we are a bank. But the bank is an outdated institution. It's a Middle Ages institution. You cannot make as much money anymore on savings and loan. You take savings, pay so much, and you give loans, you charge so much. It's forgot. It's that industry. Why? Because there's competition on the demand side, there's competition on the supply side, with the pension plans, with the stock market, with the endless alternatives for people. Why would they put in a saving in a loan bank? So being a bank is an outdated concept. So what are we? A financial services institution. What do we have to change in our value system in order to become that? So again, what are the upper threats? You know what the mission is? How to handle these upper threats. Our mission is, here's how the mission statement should read. We are in the business of. And our core competencies are, we expect the environment to change, which creates these opportunities and threats for us. And we are going to address these upper threats in such and such a way by changing these values such and such a way. Our mission is to do this, address the upper threats so we can become what we need to be rather than continue being what we were. It should be one page statement. You can put appendixes as much as you want. You can have a whole book about analysis of the environment, values, market, product, scope, etc., upper threats. The mission statement should be no more than one page. We are in the business of. The world around us is changing in such and such a way, and our mission from now on is to do the following thing to adapt to the changes that we foresee. Thank you very much.